Hey guys, this is Mr. Grice for Algebra 1 Semester 2 Review, Units 11 and 13. Remember to show all your work and place your final answers on the lines. We're going to start with Unit 11, which is a review of radicals. Remember to simplify the following radical or the root expression, and no decimals are allowed. So what we need to remember is inside of this radical, we're going to break it up, okay? The 12 stays out front, and then we're going to break down the 27x and y to the fourth. Okay, we want to break these down into the perfect squares, which I'm starting to write down. You guys should know all of these by now. 49, we got 64, 81, 100, 121, 144. Okay, 27 breaks down into the root 9 and root 3. Root x, we can't really break that down. And then we're taking the square root of y to the fourth. Remember, we're looking for groups of 2. And we have exactly 2 groups of 2 with no remainder. So that's what we get. Okay? So now we have 12. The square root of 9 is 3. Y squared, and what's underneath the square root of 3x. Okay? The last thing we've got to do is to clean up those two. We get 36 y squared square root 3x. Okay? Alright, number 3. First thing we want to do with those two guys is to multiply them, and we get 180. Alright, and now we want to start looking to see what perfect square goes into that. And remember, you always start with the one that's closest to it, so 180 divided by 144, no. 121, oh, sorry, that's 180. Okay, and you want to keep going until you find the one that works. We'll skip a couple. 36, and we get 5. Okay, the square root of 36 is 6, and so we're left with 6 root 5. Okay, number 5, we just break it down. Okay, square root of 36 is 6, square root of 144 is 12, and this one we can actually reduce, and we get 1/2. Okay, number 7, all of these are the same exponent, the same radical, okay? Which makes all of those like terms. So the only thing that we're worried about is the number out in front. So combine your like terms, and from there you're going to get 14 root 3. Okay. Number 9, we want to break it down to 25 and 2. And then 162, what goes into that is 81. We get 5 root 2, and then we're adding that with 9 root 2. 5 plus 9, 14. Alright, number 11. Now the directions say to solve the following radical equation, so we're doing something a little bit different now, and check for extraneous solutions. Solutions that don't work after we check. Now we've got the square root on both sides, so to get rid of that, we're going to square both sides. And we get 4x minus 9 equals x minus 3. Okay, we want to get your x to one side. And we get 3x minus 9 equals negative 3. We're going to add the 9. 3x equals 6. And when you divide by 2, or divide by 3, we get x equals 2. Okay? And now we need to check that to see if it works. 4 times 2 is 8. 8 minus 9 is negative 1. 2 minus 3, negative 1. And while both of those work, we can't take a square of a negative number, so this is an RS, which means no real solution. Okay? Alright, number 13. For this one, we're going to do SADMAP, order of operations to solve. We're left with x minus 8 equals negative 8. We have to square both sides, and we get x minus 8 equals 64, plus 8 to both sides, and we get x equals to 72. Okay, and the next thing we have to do is go ahead and check it. So 72 minus 8 plus 11 equals 3, which is 64. Does 8 plus 11 equals 3? So our answer, NRS. Alright, number 15. Square both sides so they cancel, and we get x plus 20 equals x squared. Okay, we want all of our information on one side. So those cancel, and we get x squared minus x minus 20. Okay, you're looking for numbers that add up to negative 1 and multiply to get to negative 20. Okay, so 4 and negative 5. And for this one, the shortcut works. So we get x plus 4, x minus 5. Everything with an x we set equal to 0. Okay. The negative 4 doesn't work. And we get x equals 5. All right. Unit 13, now we're talking about probability. Okay, so in a bag of Skittles, there are 10 red, 5 green, 8 blue, and 7 purple. Without looking, you grab out a Skittle and then grab a second Skittle. What is the probability that the first and second Skittle are both green? Okay, and after you grab the first one, it's not replaced, probably because you ate it. So, first thing we want to know, what's the total? Got red, green, blue, purple. Add those up, your total is 30. Okay, so the first time you do it, there are 5 green. Okay, but now there's one less of both. Okay, now keyword here is and tells us that we have to multiply those two. When you do that, you get 20 over 870, which reduces to 2 over 87. You can do that one in your head just by crossing out the zeros. Okay? And if we were to reduce that as a decimal, 0.02. Okay? Alright, a 6-sided die and a coin are thrown at the same time. What is the probability of rolling a 3 and getting tails? Okay, well there's only 1 out of 6 to get a 3, and to get heads or tails, that's only 1 out of 2. Okay? So multiply, once again it's and, so that means to multiply, so we get 1/12 and that'd be 0.08, okay? We forgot to do that with the last one. Okay. So far in algebra class, the students' quiz scores are 68, 88, 77, 73, and 42. What is the mean score of those quizzes? So that means we need to add them all up. We got 68, there's a 42, a 73, 77, and an 88. Okay, so you want to add all of those up and then divide by 5. Okay, so on your calculators you should be going, let's see, 42 plus 68 plus 73 plus 77 plus 88 equals, take that number, there are 5 total tests, and then that is the student's average. It was a 69.6. Okay, 23, find the following information. We want to know what the modes are. Remember, the modes are the number or numbers that you see the most, and in this case there are 2, the 7 and the 8. Alright, number 25 says, a survey was conducted to see who preferred University of Illinois over Illinois State University. Of those who participated, 32 picked U of I, and 27 picked ISU, and 22 didn't care. So what is the probability that the person in the survey picked ISU? So the first thing we want to know is the total, and when you add all those numbers up, you get 81. The people that picked ISU were 27, and we can reduce that fraction to 1/3, okay? And if you write that as a decimal, it's 0.33 repeating. Okay, a 6-sided die is rolled, so once again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What is the probability that it'll land on a 3? So, well, a 3 is 1 out of 6, or it tells me that we have to add a number greater than 4. There are 2 numbers greater than 4. So let's add those up. We get 3 over 6, which reduces to 1/2. If we were to write that as a decimal, that would be 0.5. Okay, at a swim meet, there are 5 swimmers competing. If there are no ties, in how many ways can first and second place finishers be arranged? Well, the key thing for this is order matters. Okay, so that means we're doing NPR. Okay, that's your big number, and we have 1, 2. So N is 5, and P is 2. So the way we do this, 5 factorial over 5 minus 2. Okay, and when you plug that into your calculator, just using the NPR, which is all you have to do, you should get that there are 20 different ways to do that. Okay, and if you wanted to do that doing the shortcut that we talked about, if you look at it, 3's, 2's, 1's cancel out. What's 5 times 4? And that gives you 20. Okay, on a hockey team, there are 13 players. How many groups of 6 can be made from those 13 players? For this, order doesn't matter. So order does not matter, which means we're doing NCR. Okay, so 13 is your whole, C, and then groups of 6. So if you're doing the formula, 13 minus 6, and then the 6, which means you're doing 13 factorial okay? And once you plug that into your calculator, 13 NCR6, 1,716 different ways you can order that, okay? All right, guys, well, that's it for chapter or semester 2 reviews, unit 11 and 13. If you have any questions, please come see Ms. Carranza or myself. Otherwise, good luck on your upcoming final. Thanks for watching.